Welcome to a very, very special holiday episode, a Yuletide episode of the 404 Show on CNET. I'm Jeff Bacalar.
I'm Justin Yu.
I'm Bridget Carey.
I'm Ariel Nunez.
Today we're going to be talking about our tech predictions and overall tech enthusiasm predictions for the year 2013. This is when we gaze into our crystal ball and try and figure out just what the hell is going to happen next year. I'm looking at our score sheet from 2011.
Oh?
We went 0 for 130. So we're not doing too well.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Maybe I can help you out with
I was
that.
going to say, so this year, hopefully we can do a little bit of a better job because Bridget Carey's here and she's going to hopefully help us out and maybe help us break 500. So,
You know, I am a little psychic.
yeah, that's what I've heard about you. So you're going to be able to do this for us. I'm hoping.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brilliant. But let's really get down to it. What are we looking forward to next year? I feel like CES sort of is a good indicator of what's coming down the pike. And the word already is that I feel like televisions are going to be, again, one of the bigger things this year, just because, and I know everyone's heard me say it a bunch, but just because 4K is finally starting to not necessarily come down in price, but enter some realm of practicality.
Or what about the vocabulary of it all and getting people to even know why they would need it or want it or you know, everything was always 1080p HD. Now you got to think about a 4K. What's a 4K? That's going to be a whole hurdle.
Yeah, I feel like they should really just stick to saying Super HD because that's something everyone can identify.
HD plus, Super HD. You know?
Exactly. But that's seriously something that everyone can swallow. And they can be like, I can wrap my head around this. 4K, I don't really understand.
It's really like 4 TVs in one.
Right, yeah. It's just asking for trouble.
I'm still not really clear on the differences between LCDs and LEDs. Still, I'm still really confused about the terminology with TVs. To add another one is
Not
kind
really
of...
sure you should be admitting that.
Why? I'm not the TV guy.
I'm just saying, you know.
Well, look at Blu-rays, a simpler technology we can get our head around, and they're still selling movies with both a DVD and Blu-ray in it because we're still in that point where we're not really fully committing to jump in.
Yeah. So, you know, we're thinking Samsung's going to have a really big announcement with 4K TVs. They might, I feel like the thing this year is going to be like, who can bring the first 4K TV that's affordable?
Yeah.
And, you know, who can have the first one under $10,000, whatever it is.
But is it a matter of who has the better image, or is it the matter of who can do more with their TV? I know it seems that what maybe strikes consumers more is, well, what can I do with it now? You know, and not so much what your eye can barely perceive unless you have, you know, special, you know, tech to really see what's a better screen.
Well, you got to imagine they're all going to come with the, I guess, basic set of features that we've come to take for granted in TVs now, all these smart TVs, these internet-connected TVs, but then going ahead and being like, all right, here's this amazing picture quality thing that we're doing. Who can bring it down to a price that's realistic? You had a bunch of things that you're, Justin, looking forward to.
Oh, really quick
year.
with TVs, though. I
Absolutely.
wanted to bring up the Apple TV rumors that have kind of come back into the mix recently.
Yeah.
Again and again.
Yeah, I know.
Again.
It keeps popping up. This latest news came after Tim Cook talked about the Made in America IMAX. And people are speculating that maybe those new displays could mean 2013 will see the year of the Apple TV finally coming out. We kind of thought that 2012 might be that, but it ended up just being an iPad 4. Do you think we'll see an Apple TV later on this year?
It's a good question.
They have to get their act together to make it something different than what they already offer on that thing that's called Apple TV, the box.
Right.
So it's about, like, can they break through? I'm going to say no. I'm going to vote no because it's too hard to break through to that cable operator madness of how it already exists with making profits from, you know, the commercial licenses of everything. I think what you'll see is pressure to improve what you can do maybe with an add-on box, but an actual television, maybe the best it will be is probably an Apple TV built in, the current Apple TV product built into a television maybe. That might be the best.
Well, that's what I thought it would be anyway.
Yeah.
I think what they want to do is really shake things up like they did with music, like offer something a little bit more than just an app to watch Netflix and some shows to buy, which you can do now.
Right.
So there's no incentive without something more innovative.
Maybe it'll be a nomenclature thing. Maybe instead of calling it the Apple TV, it'll just be the iPad XL, and it'll be a 30-inch screen that you can carry around with you that also happens to be able to TV watch.
That you can touch.
Right.
A portable 30-inch?
A 30-inch.
It's going to have
iPad.
FaceTime probably,
iPad
some
XL.
sort of way. I mean, what we saw at CES last time were these add-ons that you just you clip on top of your television to give yourself a way to video chat in the living room, which is what we all want to do. So I think you're gonna see video chatting things. It'll be like exactly giant iPad.
Yeah.
I really do think there will be an Apple proper television next year.
Yeah.
Just because, and the only real, I guess glimmer of doubt I have is because they seem to not necessarily be botching this whole thing, but it is the one consistently unreliable Apple product that's been, floating around for the last 2 years. I feel like if you told a lot of people by the end of 2012 there is still no official TV, if you told them that 3 years ago, they'd be shocked.
Right.
But I do think, this is probably the year it's going to happen, just because I think Apple is starting to get a little too fragmented,
Right.
and they're going to continue this sort of trip and make a lot of products that, we all necessarily don't want or need.
Yeah.
And I think they will come out with a television. And Bridget's right. They have to, if it's just a TV, just like any other TV, what's so special about it? Why am I buying it? It'll probably be overpriced anyway. Maybe if they build in something that's indispensable, that's something people really find themselves not being able to live without.
Right.
Or something built in with their game system, something that makes you think differently about how you're getting content.
What are they going to build into this television?
The Apple roadmap has gotten a little bit easier to predict, I feel like, as well. In years past, maybe
The roadmap?
mid-2000s, it was starting to get a little difficult. People were predicting that iPhones would have keyboard, like physical keyboards attached to it. In 2012, people predicted the iPad mini almost to the T.
Yeah.
All the rumors came true. So, I don't know, we might be getting better at this.
Apple needs to put all its resources into fixing maps.
Yeah.
You just said roadmap. I was like, roadmap. They have a
Big
bad
advance.
roadmap.
By
right
the
now.
end of 2013, will people still continue to die as a result of relying on Apple Maps? Yes or no? I think yes.
If they put out an Apple TV before they fix or at least clean up to an extreme measure their map situation, then they
Yeah.
don't have their priorities straight.
Yeah, I do find a tiny sliver of delight in knowing that how screwed up that Maps thing is.
Yeah,
There's
but
something
we don't
about
want
that.
anyone to die.
Of course not.
Let's be clear on that.
Of course not. We are not endorsing map-related death.
No.
We are not. So iPad 5, I think that's a safe bet.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
iPad, all releasing in 2013. iPad Mini, I think they'll call it like iPad Mini HD, something stupid like that.
Oh, with the Retina display.
Retina display iPad Mini.
The new iPad Mini.
Right, the new iPad Mini 3S HD.
iPhone
5S,
I'm 5S
6.
could be hard to read, right?
Because 5 and an S, they look alike.
That one, I would say the trend would be say S.
Yeah.
But, they might just totally mix it up because it's too hard to say 5S. 5S.
5S.
Mm.
So maybe they'll do the iPhone 5T or something even more ridiculous.
More letters. Yeah, just bring on the letters.
I don't think you think they're going to change the form factor anytime soon, though. I feel like this was a slightly major update.
It's
that.
every other one. This is not going to be. It's going to look the same.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm excited to see where Android phones go. I'm excited to see the next evolution of Android, beyond Jelly Bean and all that good stuff. I want to see where we're going with Key Lime Pie, whatever the hell it's called, and all that good stuff. I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Samsung Galaxy S4, I'm sure will be hitting sometime soon.
Do you think the next iPhone's going to have mobile payments, NFC, something that
I don't think
actually
it'll have
makes
mobile
people?
payment.
Because the whole thing is that mobile payments, Google Wallet can't even get success when
Yeah.
Google's behind it.
Well, it's
so does it have to have iPhone behind it to have any success in the marketplace for people to go, I'm going to pay with my phone now?
Well,
People don't do that yet.
I think the next iPhone will probably have. I take it back. I think it will have some sort of mobile payment. I don't think it'll be NFC. But you're right. Look, there are more people who have Android phones than have iPhones. So, but not all of them have NFC technology. So
I think
there's
Apple
that.
Apple needs to shake it up. Everyone's beating them on the technology, and they've been kind of cool. Like, it's okay, we're Apple, we're cool. We don't need it right now.
Yeah.
But maybe that's going to change up over the years.
No.
Maybe they do need to be cutting edge more, like Android is.
I totally agree. They are definitely not what they were a year ago. And it's amazing what can change in it. And look, no one's worried about Apple.
Mhm.
I am not worried about them. If I own stock in Apple, I'm not worried about that. They are just not really where they were maybe 18 months ago.
Everyone yawns now at press conferences.
Yeah.
Well, because it's the novelty is over, as far as I'm concerned. Those keynotes, they're just not doing it for people anymore. Maybe it's Steve Jobs not being there. I don't know. And, a lot of it's psychological, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say, like, oh, Steve Jobs died, so Apple's in the crap.
No,
it's not how.
not
that's
that.
not that.
Just to get back to the mobile payments thing, do you think that the concept of mobile payments is even going to take off? I mean, you need to have the concept as a foundation there, and you need to have a lot of people adopting that concept before the hardware even comes out. If there's one thing that I've learned from self-checkouts at the grocery store, it's that people really aren't good at doing things themselves. And you can see that in taxi cabs in New York, too. You can pay with your own card just by pressing it against the machine. People take forever to do that.
It also
Sometimes
doesn't
cash
work,
may
though.
just be a better, faster solution, and simple, too.
It's about the tech not working. I go check out at self-checkout. It's beeping because I brought my own bag to have someone come over and approve that I didn't steal something. Or the taxi doesn't register because the internet connection's off. So yeah, everything's always gonna be faster if you just take out a credit card still.
Right.
And I don't know. What's the motivation? It's got to have a point system, a reward system.
Yeah.
I can get more credit for my 10th purchase. That might get me to do it. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. Cash is definitively not the future.
No.
Okay? So it's got to be – there needs to be some sort of universal solution.
Right.
You have all this fragmentation with NFC, with Google Wallet, with Passbook. That's the problem. Everyone has to get their freaking slice and their cut of this stuff, and we can't all agree on one universal format.
Right.
It's in every facet of technology there is. Dock connectors and proprietary cards and flash memory and stuff like that. If we could all just shut up for 5 minutes and get on board with the same sort of mobile payment system, things would move a lot
someone's
quicker
got to be a
and
leader
more
in that,
efficient.
and someone's got to drag others into it. If you look at my wallet, my wallet is like this thick right now because if my phone had everything I needed in it, then maybe I would be
But what's the
motivated
answer
do
to
it.
that? Who has to step in? You're going to say the government has to step in and formalize some sort of thing? They formalize the internet in some regard.
No, you got to have a leader like Apple or Google
No,
or
but I don't
someone.
think that's necessarily the answer because Google is not a leader in that and Apple is not a leader in that. It's too and then you have all the carriers who want their cut on the entire
I
thing.
keep looking at music as the example. How did that get changed up in a unified way?
Because Apple got in before anyone else even thought to do it.
And there's still,
now
I mean, the
too many
format
chefs
is
in
the
that
same
kitchen.
for music, right? If you want to buy an MP3, you can get that, but you can get it from so many different sources.
Of course.
There's all these different lockers now, but that seems to work out okay. I think the physical, like the tangible idea of giving your phone to someone or scanning something, that's the thing that needs to be streamlined.
Maybe it's the register companies.
Maybe.
I don't know, but someone's got to figure it out because I am so sick of having this competition impeding progress.
Yeah.
And everyone trying to sue each other over crap. How about this? No more suing.
Yeah, there you go.
No more suing.
Let's get to making some more stuff for Mama. I don't really care about these lawsuits.
It's much easier said than done, but it's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
And obviously we're referring to the patent suits with Apple and Samsung.
That's going to happen more.
It's got to be fixed, though, man. Patent law must be reformed, in my opinion. So let's get to your list of stuff before we have to go, because we wanted to make this as sort of tight as possible.
So something that we've kind of talked about in the second half of this year, life monitors, I think, are going to be really huge in 2013. In 2012, we saw the emergence of Nike Fuel Band and things like the Jawbone Up that kind of monitor your fitness. They track your steps as a pedometer, and then you can go online and look at your progression and your health in that way. They even track your nutrition if you want to write that information in. I think that with things like Google Glass coming out, I think that was named Time's best invention of 2012 today. So I think those life trackers are going to be really, really big. I read something about the Memento Kickstarter campaign. That's basically a box that clips to any part of your clothing and then snaps a photo at increments that you choose, and then we'll stitch together basically a time lapse of your life that you'll take with you, and you can upload it whenever you want. You can do it on a daily basis or look at your month in video snapshots too. Kind of cool. Stuff like that I think is going to be very, very big in this next year. People actually physically and digitally tracking their lives.
So you have to clip this thing on somewhere.
You do, yeah. It's kind of like a snapshot version of GoPro. And that's another thing that I've been seeing too, is like people just digitizing their lives. I'm seeing a lot of bike riders on the street with GoPros attached to their helmets. I'm sure you've seen it in your hockey teams and stuff too. People just really, really want to take their entire life online.
So they
Not
can,
me.
So they
That's
can
dumb.
do what? that I still don't get that.
Yeah.
I still don't get documenting every last thing you did just so you can look at it again 10 minutes later.
Well, look at the paleo diet. We talked about it with that. Anytime that you have a representation of something on the computer, you're able to look at it more. Just the idea of getting the details on something of your life and having that in one space.
So your prediction is that we become even more self-obsessed in
100%.
I think we're getting more comfortable with that concept to be able to buy into it because it's been out for some years now. Like I have a scale where I walk on it, and if I ever want to see the trend, like I get the number in front of me, but if I ever want to see the trend, it's on an app with a little wiggly line.
Right.
So it's things that can maybe make it easier to monitor if you want to. But yeah, you have to when you have more gadgets to recharge, you start getting into a messy territory. I've been trying to use like one pedometer that lets me know how active I am.
Yeah.
And the reward is that I get points in a game. This is a new thing by Strive. And I don't always have the motivation to recharge it, and then it kind of just falls by the wayside. So everyone's trying to find what's the motivation to get you to wear it and charge it.
Right. But the gamification thing, I'm sure, is going to be really big too. This year, I started using a cycling app called Strava, and it's basically a social network. You can download this app for iPhones or Androids, and you can post your favorite routes in your city. And then the gamification comes in where you try to beat everyone's time. And so they have leaderboards too, where these are like the fastest people that have done this route. That's really cool. I think we're going to start seeing more of that, too.
Creepy.
Well, Foursquare's getting rid of their gamification. Maybe there's no...
Are they really?
Well, they're trying to be more of a useful tool like Yelp and less focused about being mayor of somewhere. So you have that trend where they go, it only lasts for so long, then you have to actually have a real use.
Right. Yeah, it's like, how long can we just float on venture capitalist money before someone's going to ask for a little bit in return?
Yeah. It is scary, though, because it brings up the idea of just giving away your privacy. People are volunteering this information is and then at the same time they'll get paranoid because someone installed a camera on a bus that can listen into conversations. How is that not the same thing? It's the line between opt-in and your own personal privacy is getting really blurred.
Well, yeah, I think we kissed privacy in which people 30 years ago understood it. We kissed that goodbye about 5 years ago.
Smartphones.
Once you had your Instagram.
Yeah.
And a GPS tied to your hip every day.
Yeah, that's true. It's a creepy new world that we must all brave. What else do you think is going to show up? What about stuff that, that's not really an evolution of anything, like brand new stuff?
Brand new stuff. What about driverless cars?
Okay.
That was something that was big this year. I believe Google got it approved, and in California, Governor Jerry Brown actually said that he's going to allow licenses to be given out to these cars in 2 years. So we're not going to see it in 2013, but the DMVs in California are definitely going to be starting to pave those roads.
So they're giving out licenses to robots? I don't understand.
Well, the Jerry Brown approved a bill that let the DMV get 2 years to figure out how they're going to issue licenses to drivers that want to operate driverless cars.
You still got to be in the driver's seat.
You still have to be in the driver's seat.
You're still responsible.
You can't sit shotgun and just sort of be like, make a left. You can't just do something like that. I would like that.
That'd be nice.
All right, so speaking of stuff that you'd want to see, I think in terms of traffic, I think Google is soon going to figure out traffic. I think they've been collecting data for what feels like a decade. People figuring out, I think they're really going to get down to it and do something to fix traffic.
Yeah.
Because traffic is one of these problems that we've had in this country for decades. And there's never really been anything besides widening roads.
Right.
Or, that's really all we can do, right?
Well, isn't traffic just a symptom of small incremental mistakes that build up across really big distances? So the way you get rid of that is driverless cars. It's human error.
Right. So I think that combined with some sort of app or some sort of service that Google is, think about it. I understand they're collecting data to help people navigate and to help people be aware of where maybe not to go. But I think them taking a next step is inevitable of curbing traffic, getting people more in the know and to eliminate traffic time. I just think they're definitely working on something, and I hope 2013 is the year they debut something.
Google Carpool, maybe,
or whatever it is, or like Google Fast Route, or whatever it will be. They are working on something.
Yeah,
and hopefully 2013 we find out what it is. All right, closing thoughts. What do you really? Is there something that you personally, selfishly, perhaps, are really looking forward to?
Yeah, I want to see more hacktivism, and I know we hate that word. It's really annoying, portmanteau, whatever. But in 2013, I'm hoping that hacktivists set their sights on North Korea. And that's a problem that's been going on for decades now. It's a little under the radar. I don't feel like the government has given it enough attention. But we're starting to see cell phones getting smuggled into North Korea from parts of China now. So that tiny, tiny little exposure is getting wider. And I don't think that 2013 is going to be the year of the Arab Spring for North Korea. But I'm hoping that hacktivists, anonymous and otherwise, really, really focus on that.
Wow. So Justin, on this show right here, has declared a call for arms.
Yes.
A call to arms.
Hey, we need it.
No, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I think Anonymous is up for Times Person of the Year.
Yeah, Anonymous did a lot this year. And Good Guy Anonymous, too.
Good Guy Anonymous. I feel like...
they definitely improved their PR in 2013.
They did. They did. I feel like the thing with Israel maybe set them back a little bit.
Yeah,
A lot of people were upset with how they were approaching the Israel situation. But, yeah, we'll see what happens with them. I think they are, and the most amazing thing is that they still are not being compromised in any capacity that we're aware of. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. Luckily for us, they seem to be on the good side of things. And they seem to mean well. So that'll be interesting. What about you, Bridget? What are you specifically, perhaps selfishly looking forward to?
My selfish wish will never come true because of business, and business must grow. And it's this problem you come across when you got a Samsung television, an iPad mini, and a Google phone. It's this, don't make me buy all of your same product to live a happy life, because it's not going to happen. I just wish syncing got easier without a million different hiccups and roadblocks in the way, because I think the one complaint I have when you have those moments, it's like, oh, why can't I get this on that? And that happens still too much and too often than it should. It doesn't have to be.
Well, I'm sure you're definitely not alone in that struggle, and there is a possibility someone could come along with a third-party thing to make things
another box
easier.
to make another thing, and then connect
and then
it all.
that box only works with this box.
Yeah.
For me, I'm looking.
It's getting better. It's getting better. It's just not there yet.
Right. We're just not there yet. For me, selfishly, I'm looking forward to the next generation of games. You're going to have a new Xbox, most likely. You're most likely going to have a new PlayStation. Let's see where that goes.
It's a lot of movement lately.
Yeah, 2013.
I mean, physical gaming movement.
Oh, yeah. I hope we completely stray away from that nonsense and get back to what matters, and that's good, compelling, unique, refreshing ideas for brand new games.
I read a rumor today that Nintendo may be thinking about buying Sega. Do you think that could be a possibility of happening in 2013?
But that wouldn't do anything.
No?
That's a software acquisition.
Right.
Sega doesn't make any hardware anymore.
Yeah.
So that would just be a software thing.
Could be good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think what needs to happen is I think Nintendo needs to make a phone. That's what I think.
Interesting.
We'll see. We will see. These are our predictions for the year 2013 in tech. Please check out the show notes for links to all the topics we talked about. That's at cnet.com/the404. We hope you're having an awesome holiday season. So a happy holiday to you and a very happy new year. We'll be back in 2013. The first live show of 2013 is Wednesday, January 2nd. Make sure you tune in for that. 3 days, and then we're off to Las Vegas for CES 2013, where none of our predictions will come true. And we will continue this terrible streak that we're on.
I predict we'll be very tired.
Yes, that's the only thing. I'm predicting sickness and being very tired and very hungover. Bridget Carey, thank you so much for joining us in our prediction
It's good to be here.
show here today. We appreciate that. We will be back soon. Again, everyone have a great holiday and a happy new year. We'll see you in 2013. I'm Jeff Bacalar.
I'm Justin Yu.
I'm Bridget Carey.
I'm Ariel Nunez.
It's the 404 show, high tech, low brow. We'll see you in 2013.